Hello, Drake. How's it going?
Hello. Nice to see you.
It's been a minute.
It has, that's for sure. It's been a while.
Drake and I have not seen each other in person since our semester was over, or school was ended very quickly.
Yeah. So it's been months.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's a weird little chunk of time that we're in, but especially for movies. But our show, our Watchmen radio hour, obviously was canceled abruptly due to the pandemic. Drake, I wish we could have ended our little show in some sort of a fashion. At least knew some idea that it was going to end.
Yeah, and just our whole college career in general.
Oh, well, sure, yeah, that too.
It is what it is.
All good. But yeah, we wanted to do another little video, and we're gonna utilize our FaceTime here to do this. But anyway, so we what was the movie that we watched here, Drake?
We watched The Old Guard.
Yeah.
Was it originally made for Netflix, or was it gonna come out in theaters?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not quite sure. I have a slight feeling that I think this was going to be the first time I ever saw it, I saw it as a Netflix original. So I'm not sure if it was originally
It kind of seems like it was made for Netflix.
Yeah, it does. And I guess when I say that, I feel like that sometimes can have like a negative connotation, because a lot of the stuff that Netflix has is like a lot of I don't know, it's a lot of crap in terms of movies. Because usually, like you were saying, that's how we weren't sure if they bought it or not, because they'll buy those movies that or they'll purchase the rights for them when studios know that the movie is just gonna flop probably. And also, no movies are on theaters anyway. So, but I think it was a Netflix original, yeah, from its beginning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what it kind of felt like. Not that it was bad or anything, but it just kind of, it didn't seem like a movie that would be in
its budget
theaters
didn't feel
for some
super
reason.
large, so yeah, it felt pretty constrained. Anyways, but the movie, I actually.
Well, first of all, what's it about?
Yeah, so it's about.
Let the folks know.
When you read the synopsis, it sounds really stupid because it is a dumb synopsis, but when you watch it, it's a little bit of a different story. But it's about a group of immortal assassins and mercenaries that have been working together for so long and work on these different little missions. And that's probably the only way you can really describe it. And when a newcomer kind of comes to their team, to their little group. But I don't know, Drake. What did you think? We'll do a little bit of a little non-spoiler summative of what we thought, and then we'll just kind of spoiler it up. What do you think, Drake?
Yeah. Well, originally I thought, just kind of from the plot itself, I felt like it wasn't going to be something that I really cared for. Like, I felt like it was going to just be so like over the top and unrealistic that it would kind of lose my interest.
Yeah.
But I was surprised how much I liked it.
Yeah.
There were some nice action sequences. I felt like the whole immortal kind of theme and idea was well done, and it was an interesting take on that idea. And like the only major negative that stood out in my head is I didn't like the music.
Yeah.
Like some of the music at some points, it felt like they were trying to add too much like pop and like top 40s type music, and it didn't really fit, and it was kind of weird at times. That was my one major complaint that I can remember, that the music felt weird.
To me, the music never stood out, which can also be a good and a bad thing, but it never stood out in my mind. So I'm sure there were some sequences where it could have gotten annoying for you. Another thing, I mean, this is something that's always kind of bothered me, especially with more recent movies, is there's a moment where they're all shot up, and it's very clearly the CG blood and bullet holes. And for me, those always bother me, I think, the most. I think I'm like what's it called? I don't know. I'm a fan of the squibs going off. What are they called again, Drake? The little explosions they have.
The blood packets.
Yeah. I don't know. I always like those. I mean, it's a little over the top, but I'd take that over like Walking Dead CGI blood any day, because Walking Dead is probably very rampant with this ugly CGI blood. That's a minor little thing, but that doesn't really matter. But there's some other things that kind of bother me. There's some character motivation that seems a little fuzzy and kind of glossed over, and kind of surpassed without much explanation. Especially when it comes to one of the members of the team who doesn't do the nicest thing to the team, and then the villain kind of, those two things in my mind kind of stick out as being, in terms of their motivation, does not seem all that explained very much. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I guess going back to kind of the CG, there were a couple times during the fight scenes where things kind of just looked a little off, just because they were using special effects. But I think that kind of ties into the fact that it felt like it was made for Netflix. So I think that's kind of where I was getting that feeling from. But like I said, I think that for this type of movie, for something that could have been like super over the top, it was pretty well contained, and that's part of the reason why I think that I liked it more than I was expecting.
I'm glad the story was contained. I'm glad it didn't try to go like an over the top in terms of its scale of like the conflict of what's going on. I actually liked the characters for the most part. I thought they were fairly interesting. I think it, like you just said too, like how we've been kind of saying, but it felt reserved enough to where it didn't feel too silly, but was interesting enough with the characters. And you really did feel like they were kind of actually friends for all this time. They sort of
the chemistry was really good between everyone. That's something else that kind of stood out for me.
I was hoping for more character development. I'm thinking amongst some of the other team members besides Charlize Theron. I thought obviously you're gonna focus on her more because she's the main, but I was interested in seeing and knowing a little bit more about the other little characters, the side team, and then besides the newbie who comes to the group. But I think she's pretty well done too. But yeah, I didn't much like the performance of the villain. I don't know about you. I thought, if you remember, do you know who that is?
Yeah, the guy from Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's his cousin.
It's Dudley.
Dudley, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's the worst part of the movie. So, I honestly, same with Chiwetel Ejiofor. I think he's another poor part of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the villain. I like that guy. I didn't like the new girl all that much. Okay. I feel like she had probably the weakest performance out of everyone. Okay. But it wasn't to the point where like it was ruining the movie or it was like taking away from the experience. It was just that I cared more about the 4 core people than I did the new girl, which is fine, but that's just how it was for me.
I think in general the movie was pleasantly enjoyable. I mean, I obviously didn't love it, but I mean, I still thought it was pretty solid as a whole, and definitely surprised from what normally comes from Netflix's original movies, which are usually just pretty brutal. But I don't know, Jake, you want to give your little summative, and then I kind of want to go into like some spoilers about it, some more.
Yeah, I agree. I think for just a movie that I hadn't heard of it at all before you told me to watch it for the review, so I was kind of going in completely blind. So it was a pleasant little surprise. It wasn't, by no means was it bad. It was enjoyable, and especially we know that Netflix doesn't have the best track record
No, they don't.
for movies, especially. So it was a nice little surprise.
Why don't we get into some spoilers? We'll give you a little bit of a warning for the old guard. Here we go. All right, Drake. My biggest problem with Dudley, I don't know. He was a little over the top for me. I mean, I get what his purpose is. I just found him to be, I don't know, pretty stupid. My other problem is with Chiwetel Ejiofor. Remember how when in the movie he kind of flips in what he wants to do? Like, how did he not know that that they wanted to sort of gut them and stuff and like dissect them to like utilize their healing ability? How would he not know that?
Yeah, I think he did, and then I think he kind of realized that.
I don't know. It was strange.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure of his motivation or why he flip flopped.
Yeah.
I think that what they were going for with the villain, we'll just call him Dudley.
That's what
I think what they were going for is they kind of wanted. They should have committed to one side or the other. I think the one side, they were trying to make him be like this really evil villain, and on the other hand, I think they were trying to kind of be like this. I don't want to call him anti-hero, but someone that like their heart's in the right place because they want to save humanity while also making money for themselves. So I think they should have committed one side to the other. Either they should have made him like pure evil, or they should have made him more like he's obviously doing bad things, but for the right cause. It was like they were right in the middle of that.
As I'm thinking about it more, but as I feel like if you have the character perhaps be too righteous in his path, or like for what he wants to do, I feel like that could kind of mess with your motivation to wanting to care about what happens to the main characters. You know what I mean? So now as I'm reflecting on it more, I'm thinking actually I think I'm fine with sort of the route that they went with him. But because I feel like you need that part that he is a greedy person to make you really care about the characters more, to like want them to actually beat this guy. Like this guy may have had positive intentions in general, that he was like the things that he always publicly said, but I feel like it gives you more motivation to wanting to care more about these characters to get rid of this dude. And I mean, he's right in the first place. Is like, why would you not want to heal humanity? But my other problem too is with the French guy in the group on the team. He when he betrays them. Now that also feels pretty muddled. I feel like they also kind of brushed over that too for his thought process. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I guess I would have kind of liked to see some exposition on when he decided to do that. Like,
yeah,
I get that kind of would have ruined the twist, but it did feel kind of weird. Like, why is he just deciding to do this all of a sudden? Like, it wasn't like he was given some sort of like reward or something. It was just kind of something he just decided to do.
It was just strange. It was a weird flip to happen. And the what was the other thing that kind of bugged me? I don't know. I think that was fine. I found myself cringing a little bit when they tried to do a little Marvel type thing where the woman that was supposed to be trapped underwater that they thought was dead, that was trapped in that metal coffin, if you remember, how she keeps dying over and over again.
I thought that's one thing that I really liked, actually. I like that whole...
I was interested in that future of that story, but I didn't like that we saw like the end credit type thing. That's what I didn't like.
Yeah, well, they're clearly setting up for a sequel.
Sure. I'd watch
it. But I really liked the just because I guess if you were immortal, you wouldn't really like, not much would scare you, but being like locked in something for like you have no idea how long you're gonna be down there, just like constantly dying over and over again. I thought that was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think the idea of the character and what happened to her is interesting. I just didn't much like the execution of bringing her back in the fashion that they did. That's what. Yeah. That was the thing.
Yeah, it kind of seemed out of place, but again, I think that was just their way of setting up for a sequel.
Let's see. I liked the action. I thought the action was pretty good. I liked Andy, who's Charlize Theron. I liked the new soldier character, the person who's kind of new to the team, because I think the reason why they had this character even show up, I could even see this movie functioning without her. You know what I mean? Without this new girl. Because I feel like she's mostly there. I think she's interesting enough in the end, but I feel like she's also there for the sake of giving that exposition and explaining of who they are. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Because they could do that. Yeah, because she's finding out about everything that's going on just as we are. Yeah. And it's, so
that's Charlize Theron can explain everything away to this girl.
Right.
Yeah, I liked her character in the end, but I could also see, like I said, how you could cut her out in the movie. It would be not the same, but it'd be pretty similar.
Yeah.
I don't know. Overall, I thought it was pretty solid. Definitely surprised. Don't know why. I was super motivated to watch it. I think I was just like, whatever, I'll watch it, and then being pleasantly
I mean, there's not
surprised.
much new stuff coming out now, anyway, so it's not like we can go see a movie. So we got to take what we can get.
There's not much at all. I don't know. For me, I think I give it maybe a 6.5 or 7 or so, something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably 7 if we're doing half stars, 6.5 or 7.
Yeah.
But edge more to the side of
same
7
here.
because I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I think you and I seem to be on the same page, which is cool. But yeah, I'm thinking, Drake, we should do another little thing here, another little movie that comes out on the Netflix. We could watch The Kissing Booth too, which
I'm good.
Sounds awful. I'm good. Yeah,
good.
same here. But yeah, we'll try to do another video. I'm thinking about another upcoming movie to Netflix or whatever type of release.
Well, they did just add, I don't know if you remember me sending you the trailer, but that one horror thriller-ish movie with Jesse Eisenberg where they're stuck in that neighborhood that's like all the same.
And
They just added that to Prime.
And they can't escape that. We could watch that.
Yeah. So we could do a little review on that sometime.
We'll keep that in mind. Do you remember what it's called?
Vivarium.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, because they're kind of trapped in like not a loop, but in this place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Drake.
Anyways.
Well, thank you guys for watching this thing. If anyone is watching, that'd be awesome. But
stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy. Watch yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Goodbye.